Hello, Vortex. I'm always cutting myself, but not intentionally this time. I work in a restaurant, and this is like the second time that I have injured myself with the same knife, okay? But it's a new knife, that's why. I forget that because I'm so used to the knives being dull. I don't know why that's funny, but it is. I just saw that mad GAB in the background. Sometimes I wish that I had like a bunch of people to come over here and play all these board games with me, but then I realized that like I would hate that. You know? Like when I was younger, I was able to like interact with people more. But I just don't want to do it. I think it's because I was trying to be normal. I was trying to pretend that I could do that. But like one of my problems has always been like my strong desire to be alone. So like anytime that I'm either with somebody, like, you know, in a romantic relationship, you know, which is always a disaster. So anytime it's romantic or anytime I'm even like just friends with somebody or, you know, we're roommates or neighbors or something like that, you know, family, I've never really vibed with my family, so it's like I'm used to isolating myself, and they're used to that too, so they don't bother me too much, and we don't get along anyway. I mean, we're cool, but we don't see eye to eye on anything. I'm a black sheep. I'm the blackest of the sheep. But I'm also adopted too. So that's like, say it's a quadruple whammy, maybe a quintuple whammy. But yeah, whenever I'm around people though, and like my work, like people at work know this about me too. Just leave me alone. Like, the reason why I meow is so like I don't have to talk. Like I realized that recently. Like I have this joke about how like, oh, it's my rebuttal to like all the trans stuff because, you know, men with dicks and balls and Adam's apples can say that they have a vagina and a uterus and ovaries and all this shit. And I mean, it's funny. I think it's funny that that's happening. Whereas a lot of people are just like offended and mad, and it's like, you know, it's fucked up. It's totally disgusting and ridiculous, but it is also really, really funny, you know? Like, as far as I'm concerned though, if you have a dick and balls and an Adam's apple, it might seem like, okay, you're really fucked up because you want to wear a dress and all that. But, like, look at what women do. Like, look at all the stuff that we can get away with as women. Like, why wouldn't men do that? It's like you... like, what they're doing in the women's prison is hilarious. I don't care what anybody says. That's fucking funny because women shouldn't have been given any kind of rights. So I feel like this is... this is, like, society's way of saying, fuck you, bitch. You know? Because it's come around full circle. So now you have men pretending to be women, dressing up like women, and they're being treated like they're victims. They're always oppressed because they're so marginalized, right? They don't have enough rights. They need to infiltrate. It's so funny. They're literally entering women's space. Like, they're forcing themselves into women's spaces because that's what women insisted upon. So, yeah, fuck you, bitch, right? Now, I do feel sorry for the women that are, like, raped in prison and all that. That's fucked up. But, like, whenever I talk about this stuff, whenever I laugh about it, I'm not laughing at tragedy. I think it's horrible. Like, when I talk about shootings and all that, I'm not laughing at tragedy. I don't, when I say, like, oh, yeah, I hope it happens more, I don't mean that shit. I really don't. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if it does. I mean, of course, I said that when Columbine happened. I was like, dude, this is going to happen a lot more. And, I mean, it is kind of funny, though, because I'm a comedian, and that's how I look at things. I laugh. but that's also because it depresses me and I cry a lot, way more than you think you do, bitch. And well, you can't cry because you're an SSRI, aren't you? But anyway, yeah, most people can't cry. They're just like totally immune to all this horrible trash behavior. But I do think a lot of it's a psyop, though. I think a lot of it is a simulation. Like, I see these articles, like random articles in like the New York Post. I'm like, this is also a fake news website. I feel like everything is fake news. So, thank you, Donald Trump. Gotta say, I'm excited about RFK, y'all. And who knew we would have better Democrats than Republicans? Who knew? Yeah, this is a curveball. Right? Right? Like, what are they doing? What are they pulling? Are they going to shoot another Kennedy? Well, it's kind of amazing that he's been around this long, considering, like, how anti-vax he is. So, but he's been fighting that fight since, like, the 90s, I think. Probably earlier than that. Yeah, I love the way he talks, though. It's awesome. He sounds like he has, like, one of those, like a tracheotomy or something. But he doesn't. So, like, that's just... Is that, like, what happens before you get one? I don't know. No, I think there is something, like, legit wrong with his voice. Yeah, my priest wife, like, she had some sort of operation on her voice, and she sounds just like Minnie Mouse. Like, this one day, like, I meowed at her at church, and she was like, nope, that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate. We don't meow at church, okay? She literally talks just like that. But I love it, though. I think it's adorable. I don't mean to, like, mock her. Like, I think a lot of people don't understand, like, what a sense of humor is. And it's pretty dark, but I don't think of myself as, like, a mean person, but I do say mean things sometimes. But I've just been, like, thinking more and more about that. Like, maybe I should stop telling people to kill themselves, but I can't help it. They're already dead. I need to eat. What do you guys think I should eat? Have y'all noticed that, like, the fruits and vegetables are, like, ginormous? It's probably that CRISPR technology. Yeah, apparently they're gonna, like, put the shots in, like, animals. Like, they're probably already doing that. They're probably, like, telling us, like, yeah, the food that we've been consuming this whole time has been injected with, you know, this really awesome wizard juice. And some of you that were smart enough not to take it, well, now you're going to be forced to take it through your food. Unless you just starve yourself. Or fast. You could just fast. So, I guess, is it possible for them to do gene editing, like, through your esophagus? I guess we'll just have to see what happens, right? Because I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, they're poisoning us in, like, every way they possibly can. And they're, like, always trying to mess with your brain or mess with your body and mess with your whole equilibrium and your energy so they can steal your soul. Okay? And so many people are totally fine with this, unfortunately. But, sorry, I'm talking a lot tonight, but I think that what I'm saying is rather entertaining because I'm watching myself talk and I'm like, this is pretty damn good, Amy. So, do you guys know what it's like to, like, just always watch yourself? It's like there are multiple angles inside of my head. I got this camera clicking in my head. One of these days, I'm going to perfect my Elvis Costello impression, but today is not one of those days.